Have you ever noticed how people tend to come back once you stop chasing? When you pull back and focus on yourself, something unexpected happens. They feel your absence. Imagine possessing a quiet, powerful confidence that brings people back to you. Not because you've done anything different, but because you've chosen not to pursue. Today we'll explore the Stoic approach to attraction, how stepping back, giving space, and standing firm in your self-worth can change the way people respond to you. Here are the 7 surprising reasons they come back when you give them space. In a world where we're encouraged to always chase, whether in relationships, careers, or even simple validation, Stoicism offers a different path. Imagine not feeling the urge to pursue, to prove, or to chase others for their attention. Stoicism teaches us that the foundation of our happiness lies within, not in the approval or attention of others. In relationships, it's natural to want closeness, but it's also easy to fall into the habit of constantly pursuing, fearing that space might mean disinterest, or that they'll forget about us. But ironically, Stoic wisdom tells us that sometimes the most profound form of attraction comes from a place of distance, of allowing the other person to come to you. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about shifting focus from external validation to an inner strength that doesn't depend on anyone else's presence. This ability to let go and stand firm allows others the space to appreciate you from a distance. And more often than not, they're drawn back. Not because you've chased them, but because they've felt your strength and independence. We live in an age of instant gratification, where attention and connection are just a click or a swipe away. But in this convenience, there's a trap. The constant urge to reach out, to check in, to make sure people don't drift too far. Often this drive comes from the fear of losing someone, of being overlooked or left behind. And while natural, it can actually push people further away. Let's consider what this can look like. You're waiting for a message, wondering why they haven't replied yet, why they seem distant, or why they're taking longer to respond. This anticipation can lead to actions based on anxiety rather than calm intention, nudging you into the mindset of seeking and chasing, which is exhausting and can even erode your sense of self-worth. Stoicism teaches that this need for external validation is ultimately a reflection of internal unrest. When we seek reassurance from others, we're, in a way, trying to fill a gap within ourselves. But what if that validation could come from within? What if you could break free from this constant cycle of seeking and begin to cultivate a sense of wholeness that no one can shake? The Stoics would argue that being drawn into the cycle of seeking attention from others distracts us from a more fulfilling pursuit, building inner strength and independence. The more we rely on someone else's attention to feel complete, the more we place our well-being in someone else's hands. Let's explore how this outward focus, this need to keep people close, is the opposite of what brings lasting respect and attraction. Imagine instead approaching your relationships with a steady sense of self-respect, where you're not pursuing, not chasing, but simply being, calm and collected. This inner calm radiates outwards, causing others to be drawn to you naturally. So, what does it take to shift from seeking external validation to fostering internal confidence? How can you apply Stoic principles to resist the urge to pursue and allow relationships to develop from a place of genuine respect and calm? Let's start with the first reason they might come back after you give them space: the power of attraction through independence. In Stoic terms, this boils down to detachment from neediness. When we're constantly seeking validation, we inadvertently communicate to others that our sense of worth is tied to their attention or approval. This behavior can be off-putting, even subconsciously, because it implies that we need them to complete us. However, when you give space, it's a signal that you value your time, energy, and personal growth. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's in our control, which is our actions, reactions, and state of mind, not how others respond to us. By giving space, you take back control over your emotions and your focus, allowing them to make their own decisions rather than feeling pressured. When someone sees that you're not dependent on their attention, they may start to perceive you differently. Your calm independence signals strength and confidence, traits that are attractive on a deep psychological level. This doesn't mean playing games or manipulation. It's about genuinely cultivating a sense of wholeness within yourself, where you're focused on your own growth, purpose, and fulfillment. Through this process, they may begin to feel a sense of respect for you, which naturally fosters a deeper attraction. By focusing inward and giving them space, you demonstrate a quality that Stoicism champions: self-sufficiency. You are content, purposeful, and free from the need for validation. Reason 1, then, is all about this. Attraction grows where independence thrives. When they sense you're not seeking them out, not needing constant validation, they're left to consider who you are independently, and they may feel more drawn to you because of it. Space, in this sense, becomes a powerful attractor. Reason 2. Giving someone space doesn't just allow them to process their feelings. It also gives you a valuable opportunity to focus on personal development. When you prioritize self-improvement over seeking validation from others, you naturally become a more intriguing, confident, and well-rounded person. Imagine this. Instead of anxiously waiting for them to come back, you're diving into activities that challenge and improve you, pursuing hobbies, focusing on your career, or learning something new. In Stoic terms, this approach is called refocusing your energy on what you can control. The more you work on yourself, the more likely it is that they'll sense your growth when they come back. People are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate resilience, self-awareness, and personal ambition. This change in energy can profoundly shift the dynamic. When they see your progress, they may feel intrigued and even inspired. They may recognize qualities in you that they hadn't fully appreciated before: your calmness, strength, or focus. Rather than appearing needy or dependent, you come across as someone who respects and invests in themselves. This speaks volumes about your self-worth. Furthermore, this growth-oriented mindset helps you develop a sense of fulfillment independent of others' approval. Whether they come back or not, you're moving forward, embracing life's challenges, and finding purpose beyond any single relationship. That energy is magnetic because it reflects stability and a deep sense of inner peace. In summary, Reason 2 is all about the appeal of self-growth. By giving them space and focusing on your own path, you become someone who doesn't need constant reassurance. This inner confidence is attractive and often encourages them to reevaluate the connection. Reason 3 is rooted in one of the most overlooked principles of relationships: the law of curiosity and mystery. When you create space, it invites the other person to fill that gap with thoughts of you, memories, and questions about what you're doing and how you've been. By allowing some distance, you're giving them the freedom to reflect and reconnect with their own emotions about the relationship. Think about this from a Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us to be secure within ourselves, not to demand constant affirmation from others. By taking a step back and respecting both your own need for space and theirs, you inspire a natural curiosity. They may wonder if you've changed, if you've moved on, or what's been happening in your life. This space you've created leads to an increase in their attention and respect, not because you're demanding it, but because you're subtly allowing it to develop naturally. Moreover, mystery can revive the original attraction that brought you together in the first place. When we're too available, we can sometimes become predictable, and that diminishes excitement and connection. Stoicism's approach reminds us to be composed, to honor our own journey, and to let others come to us, not out of need, but out of genuine interest. In practical terms, this means that by taking time for yourself, you're helping reignite their own memories and emotions, allowing them to rediscover parts of you they may have taken for granted. You're giving them the chance to recognize the value of having you in their life without any pressure or neediness. Reason 4 involves a profound Stoic concept: acceptance of impermanence and detachment. When we give someone space, we allow both them and ourselves to embrace the notion that relationships are not about possession, but about presence and choice. In Stoicism, practicing detachment doesn't mean not caring. It means not being controlled by attachment. This concept, when applied, can actually draw people closer to us. Here's why. When someone realizes that you're comfortable with the possibility of their absence, it can be an eye-opener. They start to understand that you're not relying on them for your sense of self-worth or stability. You've become someone who respects their own journey and is capable of finding peace and value within themselves. This self-assured approach can often inspire the other person to reflect on their own feelings, leading to a stronger pull toward reconnecting with you. Stoicism teaches us that attachment often causes suffering because it is rooted in a desire for permanence, which life simply doesn't promise. By demonstrating that you're not holding on too tightly, you're showing that you trust life's flow and that you value the connection but don't demand it. Ironically, this detachment often creates a magnetic effect. People feel safer and more drawn to someone who doesn't cling but rather invites them to be part of their life freely. This isn't about playing games. It's about genuinely practicing acceptance. It's about the understanding that true value in relationships comes from mutual respect and freedom, not pressure. By stepping back, you convey that you are secure in your own journey, whether or not they decide to be a part of it. And when they sense this, they often return not out of obligation, but out of a newfound appreciation for who you are. Reason 5 is centered on the idea of self-development and growth. Stoicism teaches us that the only true control we have is over our own actions and our personal development. When you've given someone space, it's the perfect opportunity to focus inward, redirecting your energy towards self-improvement, growth, and reflection. This period of space often brings about something very valuable. It gives the other person a chance to witness your transformation. They notice the changes in you, the clarity, calmness, and strength that have emerged. Stoic wisdom encourages this, reminding us that we don't chase external validation. Instead, we strive to become better versions of ourselves, living by our own principles and values. When someone returns after space has been given, it's often because they're drawn to the new qualities you embody. They see a grounded individual who's not looking for validation, but instead inspires by example. The resilience and commitment to personal growth that Stoicism teaches become evident. You've shifted your focus from needing them to building yourself. And this kind of strength and resilience is attractive because it signals security, independence, and wisdom. In the end, this inward focus not only enriches your own life, but also makes you a more stable, inspiring presence. When they return, it's because they're drawn to who you've become, a person who has a clear sense of self and direction. By channeling your energy into self-betterment instead of neediness, you create a foundation for stronger, healthier connections that are based on respect and mutual appreciation rather than dependence. Now let's explore reason 6, the appeal of independence and emotional self-sufficiency. According to Stoic principles, one of the greatest strengths is the ability to find inner peace and completeness within ourselves, rather than seeking it from others. This self-sufficiency doesn't mean pushing people away. Rather, it reflects a healthy sense of independence and security. When you step back and give someone space, it communicates that your happiness and stability aren't tied to their presence alone. You're not holding on to them out of fear or dependency, and that sends a powerful message of respect, not just for them, but for yourself as well. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom and contentment come from controlling our responses and reactions. By stepping away gracefully, you're saying, "I'm okay with or without you." This is often unexpected yet refreshing, as it's rare in a world where many people cling to relationships out of insecurity. Your independence can inspire them, as they recognize they're not being depended upon for your happiness, but rather that you're whole on your own. This independence doesn't go unnoticed. Many times people return because they feel a magnetic pull towards someone who's not afraid to stand on their own. By embracing this stoic ideal of emotional self-sufficiency, you naturally create a dynamic that feels more balanced, more respectful, and more fulfilling. Finally, let's dive into reason 7, the appeal of growth and resilience in the face of hardship. In Stoicism, resilience is a core virtue, one that not only benefits us, but also inspires those around us. When we allow ourselves to step back, we're giving space for growth, for both ourselves and the people in our lives. Giving someone space can often be a challenging choice, but it shows them that you are resilient and willing to grow through the discomfort of absence. Stoic resilience doesn't mean suppressing emotion. Rather, it means confronting it, learning from it, and coming out stronger on the other side. When someone sees you handling a difficult period with grace and strength, they realize there is something profound in your approach to life, something they often wish they could embody themselves. Your resilience shows them that, while you value the connection, you're not willing to sacrifice your own principles or happiness. This resilience, rooted in Stoic philosophy, reflects a calm but firm confidence. It signals that you are strong, yet open to vulnerability. And that is a rare quality many are drawn to. People often return because they recognize that in your resilience, you've embraced one of life's hardest lessons: the ability to let go, move forward, and thrive independently. By showing you can weather emotional storms, you inspire a deep respect and admiration. They come back because they want to be part of that journey, to feel that strength and resilience alongside you. We've now reached the turning point, the essence of why Stoicism teaches us to give space and seek inner strength. In understanding the power of detachment and self-resilience, we confront one of life's profound truths. We cannot control the actions or feelings of others. We can only control our own reactions, choices, and inner peace. This realization is what Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus meant when they emphasized focusing only on what lies within our control. When we choose to step back and give someone space, we're embodying that principle. We're recognizing that the only thing we can shape is our own response and approach to life. This act of giving space doesn't just help them, it frees us. It allows us to maintain dignity, composure, and self-respect, no matter the outcome. This is the moment where we accept that true strength comes not from grasping or clinging to relationships or people, but from nurturing a deep inner well of calm and self-assurance. It's about letting go of the need for validation, approval, or specific outcomes. The person who returns after you've given them space does so not out of necessity or pressure, but because they've come to appreciate who you are at your core, a resilient, independent, and principled person. At this climax, we see that Stoicism doesn't just offer a way to navigate relationships, but a way to strengthen them. By mastering ourselves, by standing firm in our values and giving space when necessary, we become a magnet not for fleeting attention, but for deep respect and connection. This realization is what brings people back, not because of anything we've done directly, but because of the person we've become. This is the Stoic path, a quiet strength, a balanced approach, and the art of truly letting go. As we reach the end of this journey, let's revisit the key takeaways. Stoicism, in its wisdom, teaches us that true value in relationships and connections isn't born from clinging or control, but from releasing and respecting the space each person may need. When we step back, we're demonstrating not indifference, but deep respect for ourselves and for others. Giving someone space isn't just a way to maintain balance in relationships. It's a means of grounding ourselves. It's a practice of self-discipline and self-care, empowering us to stay focused on what we can control while letting go of what we cannot. We've discussed the reasons someone may return when given space, the curiosity, respect, or realization they might develop when they sense a person of strength and calm standing on their own. By following this path, we align with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and temperance, and we set a powerful example for those around us. Remember, this isn't about manipulation or testing others. It's about embracing a life philosophy that fortifies us against the inevitable uncertainties of life. In doing so, we cultivate a strong, balanced foundation that allows us to connect with others more meaningfully. We become people of depth, of integrity, and of self-respect. Thank you for joining this exploration. Keep practicing, keep growing, and remember that by mastering ourselves, we become the strongest force in our own lives. Until next time, stay centered, stay resilient, and let Stoic wisdom guide you in all that you do. Thank you for spending time with me on this journey of Stoic insights. If this exploration resonated with you, I invite you to become a part of our Stoic community. Here, we don't just discuss philosophy, we learn how to live it. Like this video if it brought you value, subscribe to stay connected, and share your own experiences in the comments. Have you ever noticed how giving space impacted your relationships? I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Let's create a space where we encourage each other to apply Stoic wisdom in our daily lives, supporting one another in growing stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Stay on this journey with me, and together, let's continue uncovering the depths of Stoic wisdom. Until our next video, keep striving for inner peace and unshakable strength.